Hello and welcome to my garden and the dinosaurs who live there. Sunday the 30th of May today, and it is going to be a glorious day. We're still quite early in the morning, but the sun's out already, the birds are chirping, there's not a breath of wind. Perfect actually. So I thought I'd better fit in a garden tour before we run out of month. There's a number of potatoes growing round here, mostly, well, all secondaries, excuse me, all secondaries actually. And they're growing in various pots and they seem to be doing lovely. Just at the back here there's elephant garlic, which hopefully isn't being too crowded out. And it seems to be doing okay. It's looking a little bit yellowy now. I'm just wondering if it's starting to get ready to need harvested even. There's a little hosta down there that actually had another pot on top of this pot, and I removed it and then realised there was a hosta in here, so I'm going to dig this one out and pop it into a hanging tub, I think. And round the side here I've got another pot, and I've got a raspberry in it, excuse me, a raspberry in it, and I'm just sort of supporting the raspberry with this support here. So it seems to have come back nicely this year. The remains of the daffodils in this pot, these will be ready to deadhead shortly, and that will be them for the year. Here I've got a pot of peas, douche Provence. I've got this fern that has appeared that I'll need to sort out. I'll maybe just move this pot over a little bit, but you can see I'm getting flowers now, so that's good news. Just growing up this little metal obelisk. Here's a couple of pots of carrots, rainbow F1 hybrid, both of them. And they're coming along nicely. You can see they went in on the 10th of April. So I'm quite happy with how they're doing. And just next to the carrots, I have a tub that's got some beetroot in, which appears to be doing fine. So in this little bed where I have the start of this new arch, I've put some lettuce in just to grow on, but my intention is to have a couple of climbing courgettes in here, and I've actually just put one in. It's called Shooting Star, and none of the Shooting Star plants that I grew have looked particularly healthy, and you can see this one's looking a little bit weedy, but I've popped it in anyway, and I'm going to harvest another one of those lettuce and get the other one in. And Shooting Star is a climbing courgette, so I'm hoping I'll get it to climb up this arch from this side anyway. At the back there's a couple of my onions that I grew from seed, Bedfordshire Champion. They're looking a little bit all over the place, but I'm just leading them to it. And then at the other side of the bed, primarily I wanted to grow some beetroot in here, which you can see I have, and I just popped in some of these marigolds just to get them in the bed, because I'm quickly running out of space. So I don't know if it's going to get too crowded in there, but the marigolds are going to last a shorter time than the beetroot, obviously. So yeah, beetroot and marigold here. The lettuce, some of them are looking a bit moth-eaten, but these will go to the quail or the chickens, and the good ones I'll eat. And as I say, I'll have a couple of courgettes there, hopefully, to climb up. Immediately next door, I have a trough that's got some golden self-blanch celery in. And actually, on the other side, I've got some more golden self-blanch celery. And if I just move over to the next bed, so the other part of the arch, at the moment there's leeks in here that they're okay, but they're not doing anything dramatic really. And to be honest, I sort of want to use the bed. But anyway, so what I've done at the back is I've put a Brussels sprout in, because there's a bit there that it can grow up to support it. And then I had a few little sweet peas spare, so I've put those in here, although I need to so tie that up there. But these sweet peas hopefully will grow up this side. And the idea is that I will grow something else up this side of the arch. Now whether that's, I've got some nasturtiums that I might try, or, I mean, I've got beans, but excuse me, beans aren't good with alliums. And yeah, as you can see, I've got all these leeks in here, so even if I did make space, it's not ideal to put beans in here. So unless I move these leeks, which is always a possibility, I don't know if that'll put paid to them or not, but I might actually just move them out, refresh the compost, and then get some beans in there. That's sort of sounding like a good idea to me. Or I may do the whole nasturtium route, we'll see. And then just behind this bed, there's some more celery, and this is the Celery Blush, which has the pink stems. And although these plants were bigger and more healthy looking than the self-blanching ones, they've taken a bit of a knock actually since I put them out, but I think they're okay. And next door is this huge hosta in the bed, which is okay just now, but of course we're on snail and slug watch. And if I just continue moving round, at last some of my Aquilegia are starting to flower. They're really late this year because of all the rubbish weather we've had, so they're not fully flowered yet. You can't really see them in their full splendour, but well, here's one that's starting to, but still not quite out full. So these are a nice sort of burgundy Aquilegia. Okay, in this bed, the raspberries are taking over, but I got a few raspberries from these plants last year. Hope for more this year. They're certainly looking nice and healthy. I have this fern that comes up every year, and I sort of trim it back. I really should try and dig it out. I think it's just over the other side of the fence there. But yeah, mostly we have raspberries here. I did, while the raspberries were small, put in a couple of lettuce, which are still in there, so I'll just pull that out, and again I'll feed that to the chooks. Lettuce everywhere really. And then on this side of the bed, the intention was to grow some more beetroot, although these ones here are being crowded out a little bit by the raspberries. But yeah, we'll see how they go. And then at the end here, there's a little hanging trough. And yes, there's some more lettuce in there. I think this is all the year-round lettuce, with the compulsory barrier to protect them from the chickens. I bought some climbing French beans at the garden centre a few weeks ago, and I've popped them in here. These are called, what are they called? Oh, I can't actually reach. These are called Cosy Violetta, purple. Got that there. So I've got their little teepee up, and I've got them arranged around there, so hopefully they will give me some nice purple beans. Behind there, there's another large tub, and it's got some more of my Bedfordshire Champion onions in, and then just some lettuce. There was one larger lettuce in the middle which I've harvested, and I've popped a few little lettuce seedlings in there just to grow them on. And you can just see in this little pot here there's some lupins which weren't doing great, but I think now the weather's improving, they're going to come on a bit better now. And here, and I know I've put 2 in, but hey ho, it's quite a large pot, and there's actually 2 courgette plants in here. We'll see if that was a good idea or not. It probably wasn't, I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but yeah, anyway, they're in there just now. And these are called Primula F1. Again, not looking brilliant, but they weren't looking brilliant when I put them in. Hopefully they will improve. In this tub, I have some more beetroot, and I also direct sowed some radish just to get a quick crop of radish. So you can see the radish are coming up, and the beetroot's doing fine and dandy as well. There's some potatoes in the back there, as always. And then just swinging around here, I've got some Cosmos seashells mix in this tub, and behind we've got some shallots that have split, but they're not really bulbing up yet. This is a bit of a busy flower bed. We've got some hostas, we've got some wallflowers, some daisy type flowers, nice heuchera there, some more cosmos, some Rudbeckia, Helian, can't remember now. Let's see when they flower. And then another Aquilegia that is starting to flower. This is a yellow one. They're not quite out yet. We'll see them soon. And then working round, another large hosta. Another Aquilegia, not quite there yet. And I've popped some more little cosmos down there, which will become bigger cosmos obviously. And then that is going to be some Rudbeckia that is a perennial, comes back every year. Okay, the opposite side of the path, I've got 3 pots of Hollyhocks that I grew this year, but I'm expecting to flower this year because I sowed them really early. And they seem to be doing well. Here's some potatoes in a pot, and then 2 pots of Rudbeckia. I actually bought these as plug plants last autumn, and I popped them in pots and they just overwintered. They looked a bit rough at the beginning of the year, but actually they've come back really, really well. And the curly parsley is starting to do its thing again. Now the main crop potatoes that I'm growing this year are Picasso, and I've got them in a bed, but I had some spares, so here's a couple of pots of the remaining Picassos there. They're actually the cloth bags actually. I put these over just to prevent chicken damage, but they'll need to come off soon enough because the haulms are getting quite large. And then here's probably going to be a bit of a failure. This is Maris Piper, and these I put in for Erica from Erica's Little Welsh Garden Potato Growing Challenge 21. And the idea is to get shop bought potatoes and grow them and see what harvest you get. And because I had some straw, what I did was I put compost and fertiliser in the base of each of these 3 pots, put the potatoes in, and then topped up with straw. And I think maybe I've crammed the straw in too much, because I'm not really getting anything coming through at all. And maybe it's just too dense for the potatoes to come through. I might be wrong, and I might have I'm going to have a bit of a poke here to see if anything's happening. You can see it's a bit damper underneath, but if I just move that out the way, I'm not seeing anything happening in here at all. I suspect the potatoes have maybe rotted in there. So I think this is going to be one big fail. So it's going to be easy to count. That green is just weeds. It's going to be easy for me to count my harvest from these because it's going to be nil. So I am going to give these just a little while longer, and then I'm going to look and examine it in a bit more detail. And if they're not growing, I'm just going to call a halt, because these pots would be really valuable for growing other things and the location in the garden also. So it's a shame. It was an experiment, and I'll put it down to experience if they aren't growing. But in a positive, it gives me more growing space for other things. So I'll keep you posted, Erica. So we've got a really busy flower bed here, and that's because of the dreaded Perennial Geranium popping up everywhere here. It didn't, it wasn't sown here, and it's gone wild. I'll get nice purple flowers, which are nice, but hey, it's going everywhere. It's also smothering this nice little poppy that I have down here, and there's some Aquilegia there. Oh, there's some weeds here as well, which I can get rid of. Some more Aquilegia, that's growing well. There is a sedum in fact. It's just getting a bit crowded out now down there. And more of the geranium there. So I'm going to have to pull this out, I think. I'll wait till it's flowered. And then we have my poppies, the nice scarlet poppies, and you can see I've got some nice flower heads. So I'll get some nice scarlet poppies. And then behind there is the raised bed that I've got my main crop in. So these are Picasso. I had a good crop from this bed last year. So, and they're certainly looking nice and healthy just now. So, yeah, bring it on. Can you believe it? On top of my debris netting that's covering my cauliflowers, we have this little peskiness here. Okay, here are my cauliflowers. Let's just have a peek in, shall we? I think they're okay. They're not hearting up or anything just now, but sorry, I've got you in here, hopefully you can see. But they seem to be looking okay. They seem to be growing quite huge. And these are all the year round. Hello there. Hi, Colin. Hi there. There you are. Good boy. A little pot of Rudbeckia there. And if I swing round, there's a little trough of Rudbeckia. Oh, there's more Picasso potatoes. And some Calendula artshades. And behind we have the pond that probably needs a bit of a tidy. And the yellow flowers there are Marsh Marigolds. They are starting, well, they're going over now, there's not so many left, but there was dozens and dozens of Marsh Marigolds there a couple of weeks ago. And then we've got some broom, which is absolutely gorgeous at this time of year. And my Kilmarnock willow. Got some geraniums in there, and then some pots where we have gladioli. These were from last year and they're looking a bit rubbish this year. So I think probably I'll just pop them in the ground somewhere after this. And there's some more gladioli going to come up there. And a lovely heuchera. This is the first tomato that I've got out. It's actually one that I bought, a grafted tomato. It's Sun Gold. So it's now in situ, and hopefully it will go from strength to strength. And then next to it I've got my first cucumber out. This is Marketmore, one that I grew from seed. It's quite small at the moment, but hopefully it will come on in leaps and bounds now that the weather seems to have improved greatly. Down the side of the house, we've got a few pots. We've got some marigolds and cosmos in there. Just a bit of a mix of small hosta, calendula and some begonia in there. This is some zinnia, giant cactus mix, so hopefully that will live up to its name. And then the next two pots are parsnips that I bought as young plants, and I don't know, I don't know how we'll do getting decent roots, but certainly the tops look fine. They've come on from strength to strength since I put them in a couple of weeks ago. And then up here, more lettuce. This is Marvel of Four Seasons? Marvel of Four Seasons. There and there, and then these are I had a couple more in here I've been feeding to the chickens and the quail. I can't remember what this one is. All year round or something like that. But yeah, they're they're now huge, but they're fine for the girls.